Hey folks, Kilt-Man here. Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? Hope you're all doing very, very well. Now, welcome to another watch-along party in the Kilted movie room of Kilt Mansion. And today, we're going to watch Jaws 2, as richly requested by quite a few people. The most vociferous amongst them all, Dino Deanster himself. Yes, Dino, this one's for you, mate. I've covered Jaws 2 in depth already on a massive Leviathan review, which I'll put the links to down below. So with that in mind, I want this to be a lot more fun. I hate or don't like as much commentary tracks where the commentators give you all the facts and trivia behind the scenes and list off all the other movie credits that every single member of the cast and the crew have had after making that movie. They spend all their time talking about things which are not the movie in question. We're going to just kick back and watch this. Because I say, I've covered it in depth and I've given all the background. Inevitably, I'm going to give a fair bit of anecdotage and fact and stuff. You know, I'm going to do that. But the idea should be, we sit together, we watch Jaws 2, and we luxuriate in its maritime mayhem and the macabre nature of one of the greatest sequels ever made. And I stand by that. I mean, obviously, the likes of Mad Max 2 and Evil Dead 2 rank very highly, you know, in the pantheon of sequels. But Jaws 2 it's magnificent. I've always loved it. It's flawed, and we'll probably cover some of those elements as well throughout the course of this viewing. But as I say, I'll put the link below to the bigger review and you can get all the other gubbins from that. Let's just enjoy it. Before we start though, it's worth saying that Zanuck Brown, Richard Zanuck, David Brown, the producers of Jaws, knew in the first few days of the rampant success of Jaws several years before, right, let's do a sequel. Peter Benchley, who wrote Jaws, never had a sequel in mind. So, okay, we have to start afresh, but we need to have an idea for this. So Howard Sackler, who had done uncredited rewrites on the Jaws screenplay, came up with the idea, well, let's tell the story of the USS Indianapolis, the Quint speech. And Zanuck Brown were like, nah, it's far too grim. We want to go back to Amity. We want to bring Brody back. Brody and the family. Mayor Vaughn and all that. And people getting chewed up in the surf. Let's do that kind of thing, shall we? Okay, so he then does another rewrite, then another rewrite. Then Carl Gottlieb, who of course starred in and produced and co-wrote Jaws, stepped in and did another rewrite. And then we basically get Friday the 13th at sea. But as I've always maintained, Jaws 2 is the one that kind of brought in the idea of teens in peril and being picked off one by a marauding monster or madman in the slasher genre. And it's great. So it ushered in an entire genre, rightly or wrongly, but I love it. It takes you back to Amity, a haunted town without a doubt, a town with a history, and it's great. Roy Scheider didn't want to come back, but famously he had a 3-movie contract with Universal. He'd done Sorcerer for them already, another film I've covered. He then stepped out of doing The Deer Hunter, and he'd been playing the Robert De Niro character, but creative differences, he went, I'm not doing this. Which meant, hang on a minute, you're walking out of our 3-movie contract here. Well, we got Jaws 2. I'm not doing Jaws 2. I had a hellish time doing it at sea last time. I didn't enjoy it. I'm not doing it again. No way. They argued. They offered him more money. He then apparently threw a hissy fit in a hotel lobby, pleading insanity to get out of the contractual clause. Yeah, I think there's a bit of a stunt going on there. They offered him more money, and in the end, he went, "Oh God, I'll do it then," because they said, "If you just do Jaws 2, then you're out of the contract, please." And although he resented doing it, and he had an equally tough time, actually quite a volatile, almost violent time on this, because he did not get along with the director, Jeannot Swark. who replaced the original director. We'll talk about that. Says the guy that wasn't going to go into all the facts and figures and details behind it. But hey ho, we're here now. So he didn't have a good time making this, but that does not come across in his performance. He is Brody again, an evolution of Brody's character. We have an evolution of all the Brodys and all the characters that we knew and loved from the first movie who survived the first movie. All except Hooper. Richard Dreyfuss said, if Spielberg ain't doing it, I ain't doing it. And Spielberg was approached to do this. And he was busy doing Close Encounters, finishing up Close Encounters. And there's lots of different ideas and things and quotes that he's come up with saying why he didn't do Jaws 2. But once they fired the original director, they approached him again and he said, oh, I'd love to, yeah, I could, but no, I don't do sequels. I don't do sequels. A certain Indiana Jones may have something to say about that. Either way, he didn't do it, but Jeannot Swark did. And for my money, he did a bang-up job. So, right, this all hinges on the fact that you've got a copy of Jaws 2 to watch alongside my Yakety Yak track. Otherwise, you're just going to sit and watch me gobbing off and looking in that direction over there. Oh, and occasionally swigging this stuff. You know what I'm like. I'm all at sea with this. And we're going to go day sailing. Not a good idea. Off the beaches of Amity. So this came out in 1978. Once again scored by John Williams with a wonderful score. The first one, Jaws, got himself an Oscar for it. But this, it's a beautiful companion piece. For this, as we'll hear right from the word go, he brings in the harp. And of course the harp, ethereal, beautiful, melodic, sinuous. It weaves a tapestry of the majesty and awe and wonder of the deep blue sea. It also evokes a bewitching quality which turns very swiftly into real nasty underwater mayhem and lots of chompety chomps and blood in the water. Right, folks, for reference purposes, I'm playing the Blu-ray of Jaws 2. I do believe there's a 4K. I've got the 4K of Jaws, but I haven't got the 4K of Jaws 2. Must rectify that at some point. So right, I'm going to get onto the main menu screen now, and we're going to do the countdown. There's the glorious image of the water skier with the beast from the depths rising up behind her. And if you've got the same menu screen, it's the poster. It's behind me somewhere around here. Says the guy who actually hasn't got the poster for it behind him. I've got the alternative poster for it there. But the poster of the water skier with the shark rising behind her, and those teeth, they are like Michael Myers' butcher knives. It's horrifically nasty, very intimidating. Poor girl, blissfully unaware of what's behind her. Anyway, I'm going to count down 3, 2, 1, and then we press play. So let's get this straight. 3, 2, 1, and then press play. Don't do it on 1. 3, 2, 1, and then, okay? Now, I know, because people have said to me, different machines and different versions of the movie that you're watching, they have different startup times, and nothing I can do about that, I'm afraid. Anyway, let's return to Amity Island and the beast from the depths. Brucette in this case, because it's meant to be a female shark. That doesn't come across in the movie, but it was meant to be a female shark because they're bigger and deadlier than the male. 3, 2, 1. Mine didn't work. Folks, mine didn't work. Abort! Abort the mission! Abort! 3. Let's try it again. I'll give you a chance to get back. I don't believe it. It didn't fucking work. What's wrong with this damn button? What's the point? Hooks and lines. Well, you lose one, you rig one. 3, 2, 1. We're in business, folks. Okay, it's reading it in. It's going to start. Should get the universal logo. Here we go. The old spinning globe. This was a big, big movie when this came out. I lapped it up. Listen to this now. You got the epic surge, and then you get the harp. I don't know about you guys, but I'm shivering already. Again, the mythical quality of the sea. But it masks the dangers that lurk there. All our main stars are back. Roy Scheider, Lorraine Gary, Murray Hamilton, Mayor Vaughan. Straight away, you've got scuba divers. So John Williams brought in a new element, which would be the harp and beautiful new themes, bit of a sea shanty theme going on, which runs through the movie. But also you've got underwater stuff, a lot more than you had in Jaws. Look at that. And it was Michael Butler who did the cinematography on this. It was Bill Butler who did it for Jaws. They're not related, folks. They're not related. But the photography on this it's ravishing. You've got a big cast list because you've got a whole bunch of teens. And I'm going to say right now that a lot of people slam the performances of these teens, saying, oh, it's one thing that brings the film down. With only a couple of moments, there's the orca. And you get that wistful, ghostly orca theme from Jaws. Look at it. Oh. I mean, people must have been down there before. It's meant to be something like 4 years later from the events of Jaws. And, that would have been plundered, maybe brought back, if anyone could afford it. Don't forget the town of Amity has got a lot of financial troubles. If you listen to Peter Benchley, it's financial troubles with the mafia. Uh-oh. Oh, someone's around. Look at that. Whenever you see fish legging it like that, you're in trouble. It's a clever touch, this. It's also a bit of a Hitchcockian Dario Argento touch that the camera is recording, albeit in a surreal fashion, what's taking place, and will provide evidence later. So we've already the body count's at 2. Folks, that is nowhere near Martha's Vineyard. That's Florida. Now there's Martha's Vineyard. And there's that fantastic Jeep. The GMC Jimmy High Sierra, I think it is. There's the ferry again. Universal once again invaded Martha's Vineyard, which stood in for Amity. And they had the director, John Hancock, whose idea for this movie was vastly, vastly different. He wanted not just Brody to be haunted and still, harried by the events of Jaws, but the entire town. So it was going to be shot with sort of a gothic flavour to it, which I like the idea of. And so it'd be misty, it'd be grey and gloomy. Everyone would be almost like haunted versions of their former selves, using a lot of the old extras who returned for this. A lot of you would have had the original people from from Martha's Vineyard, who made Jaws such a memorable film and so realistic because they are genuine characters from that place, and they populate the entire movie. Wanted the same thing again, but to give it this haunted quality to it, melancholy. Well, Zanuck and Brown did not like the footage, and they did extensive filming there as well, with a largely different cast of teenagers, including Ricky Schroeder, who was playing Sean Brody, the youngest of the Brody boys, was playing him, and Roy Scheider got on great with him, but Zanuck Brown said, this ain't working. your idea for this movie is not our idea. We want a bit more action, a bit more colour. It's got to be, people want to be in Amity. What you're painting is just like a ghost house, lonely, deserted. So he was ousted, and John Hancock, it took him, he'd worked on it for 18 months beforehand, believe it or not. And then he got really pissed off. And I think he and his wife went off to Rome for a while to get their heads around the whole thing, because his wife was working on the movie as well. It didn't help that he'd fired a cast member who happened to be part of the universe. She was the daughter of one of the Universal executives. Didn't help. So he got booted out. Then they approached Spielberg, who was too busy with Close Encounters, or finishing off Close Encounters. So Jeannot Swark stepped in. The irony is that years later, one of my favourite movies of all time, Wolfen, directed by Michael Wadley of Woodstock fame. Oh, is Tina Wilcox. And many a young heart was broken in this scene when the film first came out. Anne Dusenberry. And she's not just a bit of eye candy. She's actually brilliant in this movie. Brilliant. She's now married to the composer Brad Fiedel. Yes, Brad Fiedel. Terminator. Oh, it's a slimy Len Peterson, slimy bastard. He's got his eye on Ellen. And who didn't fancy Lorraine Gary in the first two movies? Yeah, Abigail. That band you hear playing there. They were, again. This is they've relocated. This is now Navarre Beach in Florida, where the majority of the film has been made. The Amityville, different franchise, Kilt-Man. Get back on track. The Amity Island stuff was filmed in Martha's Vineyard. So all like the little rolling hills and the streets and that, the township, that is Martha's Vineyard, standing in for Amity. But the vast majority of the movie, a lot of the beaches and all the sea scenes are all shot off Navarre Beach in Florida, where they relocated. Martha's Vineyard, although initially welcomed the film crew and all that, and Universal being back there, because obviously Jaws brought them a lot of revenue. But then they remembered all the hardship that it caused and the shoot extending way beyond the time limits, going over budget, going over time, and the chaos that they caused. And they began to resent them being there. There was quite a hardcore element of Martha's Vineyard who resented this film being made. So a lot of factors went into look, we've got to relocate. It's all well and good getting a new director in and changing the screenplay and all that. It's all well and good, but we're not welcome there. And the weather was never as good. So they head down to Florida, Navarre Beach, as I say. I found very similar problems because the weather was still unpredictable. They had hurricanes there, for God's sake. Lots of hurricane warnings. The seas would change, the sky would change. And as we'll see later on, the day sailing epic finale where they're all at sea, being marauded by the shark. All their sails from one scene to the next would be billowing in different directions. As a viewer, I don't really think you notice that. Here's Keith Gordon, a cult favourite now. Dressed to Kill. Well, not Dressed to Kill there, obviously, but the film Dressed to Kill. With Michael Caine in it. Michael Caine, who was also in Jaws the Revenge, which also starred Lorraine Gary. But he was also Arnie Cunningham in John Carpenter's adaptation of Christine, and he's fantastic. And doing what I said I hate about other commentators. Look at Roy Scheider's face. He's a fucking shark. I've always said this. His eyes, that nose, the shape of his face. He is a shark, which is perfect. It does not add to the movie. Like our main, protagonist also looks like the thing that he's having to battle. Look at that. I know there's a chin there as well. I know that. There's a bit of a Kirk Douglas going on there, but he has got the profile of a shark. I was saying about the band. They were a local band, all of whom, the sailboats and stuff, they were used as extras and stand-ins and doubles for the main cast of teenagers. Now this sequence here, this is John Hancock's last only remaining sequence in the movie from what he filmed. Now look at the colour palette. Look at the eeriness of this. It's misty, it's grey. It's very menacing, very sinister. There's a part of me which would love to have seen what his full version would have been like. And you get this. It fits in with the whole Jaws imagery and mythology, but he had his entire film was going to be like that, grey and misty and all that. I think I was saying before, John Hancock was brought in to re-edit and do ADR for the film Wolfen, when Wolfen went over budget and ran massively over time and became a huge Leviathan 4-hour-long movie. Yay, it's Hendrix! Jeff Kramer's back. He wasn't originally going to be in this movie, but Carl Gottlieb brought him in once they relocated and all that. So they brought him in after Michael Wadley was evicted from editing his massive version of Wolfen, and they brought in John Hancock to redo it. So John Hancock kind of got his revenge in a way. He was ousted from this and then brought in to replace another ousted director. What goes around comes around. Oh, the 70s, the skimpy shorts. And lots of big hair as well. Big hair. That's little Sean Brody. There's Michael Brody. Little Sean, Mark Gilpin, sadly died last year. Only young. That's Mark Gruner. Oh. Here's Gary, what's his name? Got a few notes here. Gary Springer as Andy Nicholas. Oh, suddenly I'm reminded of people going like, oh, the teenagers are crap, they're awful. Because this is a bit cringe, I'll be honest. Keith Gordon. When I was a kid, that's how my hair was. In fact, if I allowed it to, my hair would go back to that. Big curly mop top. A cat wig, as we call them around here. Oh, what's his name? Billy Van Zandt? Yeah, Billy Van Zandt. You have to talk like that. He's like Ray Barone from Everyone Loves Raymond. Ray Romano. There's a lot of cut and change scenes. A lot of the deaths were inevitably watered down. Jaws was a PG or a G initially, or whatever it was in America. A certificate A in the UK, which meant anyone could go and see it. And for the gore, the violence, and the occasional swearing, that was pretty raw movie, and still defies all logic of the BBFC. But this film incurred a fair bit of wrath as well, almost like the way that Hammer films were done. Oh, there's Marge, the most horrific death I've ever encountered, and we're gonna have to go through it. And it's gonna kill me. Oh, got him for real. move! Ah, fuck reading this then. And he was a young director in the making as well. Great actor, forceful personality, quite idiosyncratic, but a great guy. Look at the nose on this guy. Being a heavy whiskey drinker like myself, I think that's how my nose is going to end up, like a great big strawberry perched above my fairy top lip. Dancing. Dancing, eh? Hendrix is great, isn't he? Jeff Kramer. The thing is, it's proved in this that he's not quite the imbecile that we thought he was in the first one. Because he's the guy that can run the police launch. Although Brody will do that as well, but... You want to check out this dancing? It's wonderful, isn't it? There's a line coming up later on where he's got like what Brody's saying to Ellen, you know, what is it about this place? Everybody's into boats and sailing, and she goes, "It's an island." Now, where I live, there's lots of we've got the River Mersey. You don't go on it like looking like that, all topless and all that. And then you've got the Mersey estuary, and you've got the Irish Sea. But when I was growing up, there was a lot of people that I knew who had boats, who would go out sailing, go out fishing. Nowadays, that just isn't the case. I don't know what stopped all that. There's plenty of fishermen around here, but they stand on the prom and just cast the line over the side of the embankments and all that. But people don't go out on fishing boats. I used to know loads. A lot of my mates, their dads, as I was growing up, their dads went fishing and would take them. Big Kilt Papa never took me fishing. Yeah, he took me shooting instead, didn't he? He took me hunting with guns, with knives, with bare hands. To live off the land. 3 things make a billy go puke. To kill, period. It is worth pointing out that shark attacks are still very, very rare. But they are invariably very nasty when they do occur. Massive loss of flesh. Ooh. I like that you get some false scares in this. But what we're going to get up next, here we go. So beautifully filmed as well. On the shore, Jeanette Swark, the director, was on radio contact with the girl, what's her name? Jenny Coulter is the girl driving the speedboat, and she's a stunt woman. And the girl behind it is Christine Freeman. Now, she was part of the USA water skiing team, 1971, 1973. But she's from somewhere like Missouri, where there's no sea to go water skiing on. And where was I going with that? But this scene was changed. Initially, there was meant to be 2 of them water skiing. I think she was with a bloke. The idea was the shark come up behind and took her ski, so she gets on the guy's back, which of course you see. Is that Aunt May? Peter Parker's auntie? Of course, this is Navarro Beach. Isn't she adorable? Eddie. Another curly cat wig. Oh yeah, Jeanette Swark was on the beach and he's given directions to Jenny Coulter driving the boat. Like, aim for the sparklies. I mean, you can see the sparkly water. Oh, here we go. Look at that. What a fucking amazing sequence that is. Look how great that looks. That's monstrous. 3 sharks were built for this. They used the frame from the original Bruce. And then Joe Alves, who directed Jaws 3, or Jaws 3D, who worked on the original movie and now does the mechanical effects for this. 3 versions. Obviously 2 are built on sleds, which can be pulled by a boat towed from underwater. Real footage from Ron and Valerie Taylor there. Again, doing their magic. Another reason why they chose Navarro Beach is because it was deep straight away, and you had to hide the sledge, which the shark was sitting on. No! Oh. And down you go. As I say, all the attack scenes have been changed by the censor. I was saying about Hammer. Hammer used to have to supply their screenplays to the BBFC, and they would go, no, you can't have that. You can't have a throat slit in there. You can't have the blood pouring on this breast. And they'd have to change the movie, although the careerist guys and Jimmy Sangster, Terence Fisher always managed to find a way to put a bit more in there and sneak it past the censors. But it happened with this as well. Certain kills had to be changed to get that lower rating. Terry? So she's a stunt woman here. We know what happens. She's going to go on fire. And she's not wearing a fire suit, but she's got like Nomex gel on her. Fire resistant gel, but she lost her eyebrows and some of her hair. Oh! And there's a fair bit of screaming here, but I still love this sequence. It's horrible as well. In the full version, originally, you saw her lying there and burning to death. And she said, Jenny Coulter said, like, it looked great, but it was too much. It was too morbid. Oh, fuck off. That's a great explosion. How come she didn't hear all the screaming? It's only there. And she's watching them a minute ago. She didn't see all the screaming and the shark attacking it. What was she? Was she knitting or something? I can't remember now. God. But this is great because it gives our new shark a distinctive new personality. Because it's going to have half a burnt face. It's a fishy Freddy Krueger. Look at that white sand. That's lovely. Oh, Brody, give him a break, for God's sake. My mate Brian looks like this guy here. Looks just like him. And Brian's South African, a rugby player. Got a limp now, quite a severe limp. And he's about the age of that guy now. But he's a tremendous laugh. You saw smoke? That was the explosion. No shit! Shark. Human shark. I don't know what could have done that. A boat exploded. You didn't see the shark attacking the boat. This is one of the dumb things, I think, to be honest, about this. Is that straight away, even though we know it's a shark, but people witnessing an explosion of a little boat at sea, I'm going to think that's a giant great white shark that's done that. Are they? That's not going to spring to mind, is it? But for Brody, you've got there's 2 missing divers. They've got the camera. And then you get this. That's 2 incidents. Oh, it's going to bring back memories. So it works in the context of Brody's character, without a doubt.
We've been over this a dozen times.
That's just Brian, that. But with that, just son the South African, the South Afrikaans. You're bored. This is a great scene as well. And, immense foreshadowing, of course. And it brings back memories of the orca being towed by Bruce the shark as well. It'll pull out the transom. Brody, give him room. That's a tiny boat, isn't it? A little police, an Amity police launch. I wouldn't get on that for love nor money. I mean, Brody himself, like, you're gonna need a bigger boat. And that's the boat that they got given. Oh, hell. Dump it.
Drop it. What is it? Drop it. It's a power line. Let me untangle it. We don't want a power
Yeah,
line.
he says, let me untangle it here.
Get out of here before we do find something.
But, watch. He doesn't untangle it, they just drop it again. The fucking hooks are still all the way around it. Oh, this is the Cheerio sequence. What's the difference? Shitty cereal. There's not like alcohol or caffeine in Fruit Loops, is there? You eat Cheerios because you're young. Eh? So Ricky Schroeder would have been playing Sean Brody. But I get Mark Gilpin. His sister as well, Alice Gilpin, is in this as well later on, just in a brief sequence. But she died incredibly young as well. So it's quite tragic, really. Look, shark! He's just a tanned shark. Roy Scheider would be forever tanning himself. He'd even use reflective foil to bounce the sun's rays even more into him. Great actor. But forever remembered as Chief Brody, of course. Our two lovebirds. That white sand's lovely. There's white sands around the UK, but the best white sands is found at San Diego. And here's almost like a nod to like, oh yeah, Dino De Laurenti, you did a little rip off with Orca Killer Whale. Well, here's what we're going to do with an Orca Killer Whale. By the way, I'm not slamming Orca. I think it's a wonderful movie, and it is not. It's inspired by the success of Jaws, but it's not a Jaws story. It's very, very different. One day I'll cover that properly because it really, really needs it. So, the late 70s for me, or the mid to late 70s, were dominated by watery monster movies. Jaws, Jaws 2, Orca Killer Whale. And then you got Monster from Roger Corman, or AKA Humanoids from the Deep. Now, Brody knows a thing or two about these things now. You know, bite radius, you know. That's nasty, isn't it? That's gnarly. Why am I getting hungry looking at that though? Looks more like steak. That's more turf than surf, that. Just put a fin on top of his head and he is another shark. In a way, you've got Amity's terrorised by a shark at sea and a shark on land. They're both equally as mad and obsessed.
That's what we're here to find out.
We don't know that, do we?
I can't hear you if you're going to whisper. 111 centimeters. 111 centimeters. 68. 68. I have had some experience with sharks.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I think I
Yeah, don't you know? I'm pretty famous.
What makes you think there might be one in these waters?
Well, it's obvious that big fish took a bite out of this big fish.
I love that line.
Mammal, not fish.
Equivalent with these with shark bite, isn't it?
Possibly.
Once again, you've got this sort of
Considerable size.
bureaucratic clampdown. People don't want to leap to conclusions.
Attracted by blood. And thrashing about.
And here you go. And sound.
Sound?
Sound, like sonar or radar, they hone in on unusual sound, irregular sound, almost any rhythmic low-frequency vibration.
Means that it could be one only.
Now, he read that in the books. Remember, in Jaws. He knows, he read up on these things.
Currents could have carried the body.
So when you've got the 4th of July stuff taking place, which he was totally opposed to, you know, opening the beaches on the 4th of July, saying, ringing a dinner bell for Christ's sake. And you've got a guy blowing a whistle. He's going, no whistles, no whistles. And he knows that sound attracts him. It's a subtle point in Jaws. But now she's telling him, for the benefit of us, she's reminding us that, sound attracts sharks as well. Which it does. It does.
I'd like to know which.
Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to attack you. Sharks don't want to eat humans. We're not their chosen food source.
I know that dolphins can. And they can see.
Oh, here you go.
You don't think if a shark is destroyed, that another shark could come in?
Sharks don't take things personally.
See, now, I reckon that feeds into what drove that line there. That no, sharks don't take things personally. You don't, like dolphins communicate. You don't think like one shark could have communicated to another shark that, I'm having shit here, and so the other shark comes in. I'm paraphrasing very badly, but the John Hancock version would have really, really ramped that up. That it's like it is revenge. Of course, we know we got the 4th Jaws movie, Jaws of Revenge, which is an absolute tripe fest, of course. But it's kind of connecting with that. I think John Hancock ran more with that idea. It is revenge, and that version would have had it being a female. Would it? I'm making this stuff up now, by the way. But would that, because it's meant to be a female shark, and in Hank Sells' novelisation, it's pregnant as well. So would Bruce, the original one, been the father? Oh no, God.
We may have another shark.
Oh, look at Murray Hamilton's face. He's like, oh shit. This is so not what I want to hear right now. Now, of course, Brody was vindicated last time round and should have become a bit of a public hero out the whole thing. They should have had, marble and bronze statues of Quint.
This attack, but I've got 2 water skiers who have tragic.
Bodie acting. That's just a hark back. A shark back.
Never turn up.
Thing is, it's not lazy. It's what we as an audience expect. This is what we like about it. Look, Brody's got to go against them. That's a very small bite, mate, to be honest. We've seen these sharks.
Nothing she saw is proof of it. That means we're not going to do anything, huh?
Scheider's performance, he's right on the edge, the razor's edge. The controlled rage, and then the right, okay. Love that. Pointing in people's faces is really, really intimidating. That is such a gorgeous shot. That, look at that surf there. Look at the clouds. That's great. But we know something's coming up which ain't so great. I mean, that isn't that far out, that is it? Really, I walked the dog down the beach in New Brighton, and see stuff like that all the time. If the dog can get out there, she likes to bring rubbish out of the sea, and plonk it back on the beach. And so she'd be out there. Remember Pippet? Exactly. Again, a wonderful shot, that. I mean, I don't know, you're playing into, like, you know, he's afraid of the water and all that. But after the events of the first movie, he should have found a newfound. He should have found a love for the sea. Because I survived this, I can do anything now. But yeah, you don't want to get your that lovely beige Amity Police Department uniform wet, do you? You don't want to climb back into that great Jeep with a soggy bum. Look at that. That's barely anywhere away from him. And yet the threat level seems to be really amplified by, of course, John Williams' score. It is a great shock moment this time. There's a wariness to this whole sequence. He does not look happy. Oh no! Oh, hello! Oh God! Early lunch. And if you look, they've done this right. Because the knees have crunched up. When you burn, you end up, if you get totally immolated, your body, all the muscles shrink, your sinews shrink, and you go into what they call the fetal position. So burnt bodies crunch up into the fetal position. And they had that there to a degree, with the knees all brought up. So right, you're going to poison your bullets, your 38 specials. Love this sequence though. And folks, that, by the way, that's how you would do it as well. Look, shark. Well, you're going to have to file that down a fair bit now. I need to run a towel over it. It's going to crust up good style. Watch how Jeff Kramer keeps looking at that like... he's still there looking. You've got like, Chief, what's that under the towel? Have you been looking at porn again, Chief? He's still looking at... Like, Jeff, fuck off. Oh, the deputy, blue shirt, and the little sort of like almost straw hat. It's not the best uniform, is it? Brody looks great in the beige. The badge, everything. The shoulder, arm board, let's call it that. Looks cool. Hey, high-tech games. So a little reference to Matt Hooper there. Yeah, the Aurora again. Like, wasn't he leaving for that in Jaws? Little bits like that, like walking into the lampshade. Having said that, how often would he have done that? You would get that lampshade sort of fucking heightened. You're a mess. You stink of the sea. Well, Ellen, it's an island. No. Could get his own back there, couldn't he, really?
Santos seems to think he might be one of the victims from the bodies.
Santos. The guy who does the photo developing.
This would be.
Oh, that big block of hugely horrible orange or almost gold soap. What was that? Anyone remember that? We had that in this country as well. That really big block of like see-through, almost like, you know, in Jurassic Park, you know, the mosquitoes get sealed in resin. It looks like that, and it stunk to hell. I remember that. Folks, if you can hear some banging noises, somebody elsewhere in the mansion is actually doing a bit of work. I did tell them not to, but, you know, time is money. Go for the sparklies. Go for the sparklies. Oh, John Williams' score is beautiful, isn't it? He did it for the 4th of July beach sequences in Jaws. But he has this jaunt. Look at that. My wife's the big fat bitch here, but I can pretend to my mates, hello, cheeky. That is great stuff. The way it goes back to him and he's trying to work out. I want to get this babe in this shot. Big hair back in them days, man. I would totally have thrived. Well, I did thrive, and I was only a mini kiltlet back in those days, but I had big fucking hair. Great. That is a great shot, that. With the kite brought him in. What the hell is he doing? His job. Len Peterson. Slimy bastard. Originally there was a lot more of him and his attempted affair. Oh, not affair, but attempted attentions to Ellen Brody and his sort of nefarious deals and lies. Of course, it's a reflection of in Jaws, the novel, Peter Benchley's novel. Ellen has an affair with Matt Hooper, the younger, more virile guy, who pays the price and gets chomped in the book, not in the movie. Oh, there's Fritzy. What's their freaking name? Oh, I didn't write it down. Fritzy Jane Courtney, and she's in Jaws 2, and she's in Jaws: The Revenge as well. You guys aren't going out, you know. I've got to paint. Look at it. He's like, oh shit. For Christ's sake. And yet, when it comes to the crunch, the sacking of Brody, he is sympathetic and on his side. Joseph Mascolo plays Len Peterson here. And he reminds me of the actor Michael Ansara, who played Kang, a Klingon war chief in the original Star Trek original series episode Day of the Dove. Look at that. Fuck off. Wave to my son. Love this. It's great. You guys are forgetting he's got a job to do. Oh yeah. No, this little girl now. That's Alice. Oh God. Gilpin. She's the younger sister of Mark Gilpin playing Sean. Or in fact, is she older? Younger? Older? She's the sister. Bird watching. This kind of corporate fucking making money shit is still, it's prevalent everywhere even today, all the way around the world, all the way around the Western world. People try to make money, and they'll do it at the expense of human lives and safety. We get it in this country all the time. They cut corners on building apartment blocks, which are fire traps. I'm not going to go into all that. It was big news. It still is big news, but it gets kind of squashed, forgotten about. That's great. That I'm not sure how they did that. What actually is that? Is that the ramp that the mechanical shark, is often held on, being dragged through? Because they couldn't have got a school of bluefish to act like that, could they? I love that. Like, oh fuck, ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. It's an exciting scene, but it's played so well because no one else believes him, and he will get proved to be completely wrong. But his panic and waving a gun around is going to cause absolute pandemonium. Can you imagine being so convinced you're saving lives and you make such a supreme tit of yourself? And it's a nice mimic of the... Oh, that's a great shot, that. Oh, fucking hell, there's a kid in the way, yeah. And he wastes his cyanide-laced bullets as well. Bluefish. It's just bluefish. Yeah, I fucking reload and shoot him. And yet none of them would have seen the shape that he saw and recognised. Now we go. It's like it's all right. It's all right. It's okay. Go back in the water. Go back in the water. No, they see, like, salty sea air makes everyone's hair go super frizzy, and Ellen Brody's hair did not look good there. Go back. Yeah, fuck you. Oh, even as a kid, I found this a really powerful moment. I don't mean like little Sean Brody coming up to help him pick up his spec cartridges. I don't mean that at all. But it's just making a humongous fool of yourself, but doing it for the right reasons. Look at this. How many bullets did you fire? Watch. He's just picked up 3, 4, whatever. And now you can... Look! What was it, a friggin' machine gun you fired? Where'd all them casings come from? You always had that little bond between those two. I don't mean the actors, but the character of Brody and his younger son, with the whole face pulling thing in Jaws, which is hugely touching and it is amusing, but it's a beautifully sort of bonding moment. Amity Man of the Year 1975, because you killed the big shark, and the little Jaws there as well. So he did get an award for it. That moment later on, that sobering moment in the shadows. And then the phone call. I'm saying that like I've gone through it. I haven't. I've made a rat's ass of myself a few times. And I've jumped the gun pretty badly on some occasions. Nothing, recently. So I kind of get that. That huge elements, that wallop of you fucked up big time. And you have a few people on your side, but they know they can't defend you too well because you still fucked up. What else you got? If he said now, when I get drunk and fool around, you'd be like, smashing the fucking walls down. I'm out of here. These aren't the pictures I gave you. What the hell is this? This is Grindr. It's a lovely scene again. Again, I can imagine John Hancock's version would really have sort of ramped up the melancholy for this and the sense of absolute dread. This film has its scares, its frights, its gradual build-up. But it doesn't play out quite the way, well, not at all the way that Hancock would have done it. Well, we can see now. We know. There's the eye. There's the jaws. The mouth. Although once again, this film, after Jaws and Quint says, those black eyes roll over right, you know, with a shark's eyes, well, certain species of shark do, Carcharias, when they go in for the attack, to protect their eyes, they have a nicticating membrane which makes their eyes go white to protect the eyes. And in both Jaws and Jaws 2, that doesn't happen. It goes in for the kill. That's some bad hat, Harry. Harry seems to have grown an ear back as well. You know what I mean. In that sequence, it looks like his ear's gone.
That's a shark. Look at the other. Look at the mouth, the eyes. Is that what it is? Sorry, I just don't see it.
Are you fucking kidding me? They don't see because they don't want to see.
Telling me I don't know what a shark looks like?
A great guy. Listen.
Seaweed, mud, something in the lens. Lens my ass. You're damn right it's your ass. No,
Yeah, fuck you.
reasonable what? Him? Well, damn it, will you listen to me?
You just listen to the man.
Be reasonable. But look, you started a panic on a public beach. You shot up the damn place. God knows who you could have injured. Now what if somebody decides to sue us? Did you ever stop to think about it?
See, it's always about that. It's always about money. To be fair, he would have, even in this country, he would have been massively bollocked for that.
Oh, Jesus, Larry, huh? Come on, let's just forget it. He won't listen. It's obvious the man has made up his mind. But you like that man. I'm telling you, and I'm telling everybody.
Great, here we go.
That's a shark. And I know what a shark looks like because I've seen one up close. And you better
In the mirror.
this one because I don't intend to go through that hell again.
Like, you could almost sense the anger of Scheider not wanting to be there. It's easy to put that perspective on things, but I know that he gave 100% to this movie and became massively convicted to making the best performance he could. Didn't want to be there, didn't want to relive it, but he's a professional. I love this as well, like, watch this now, watch. As they all retire, but Len Peterson just fucking sits there like the bureaucratic twat that he is. Like, is Harry a butcher? He's got his apron on. I want your wife. Yeah, like just the eye movements. Yeah, fuck off in that room. Go on, go do it in that really horrible, sad suit. And your plimsolls, a suit and plimsolls. You kidding me? Okay, we're going to move into the next phase of the movie. Remember the teens? Yeah. Here we go again. Now, I'm going to mow. In America, you guys can't fucking drink until you're 21. Oh, well, these are meant to be teenagers. I mean, it definitely was the law back then.
Hey, don't worry about them. It's all bullshit anyway. Hey, Ellen. You know this is the only dump in town where the garbage man delivers?
Oh, shut up. I know, that's corny as fuck.
My dad left a couple of
Who's this guy?
in the garage.
Is he at the hothouse flowers?
It's kind of vacationing on my boat.
And there's Jackie. He's got tits like a sparrow.
Painting toilets at the beach.
And like, Andy Nicholas has got like a nose like a pig. And hair like Ronald McDonald. Donna Wilkes. You know what? I hate to be derogatory about certain people, but they all made out that she was like something gorgeous when she arrived. She's not. She's so not. But hey, if you're a horny teen, we don't care. Any port in a storm. No. Chief Brody, it would appear that you've been drink driving. Oh dear. Can you see the barrel there? The barrel? Look at the barrel. No one ever talks about this. There is one of the barrels from Jaws. He looks at it. He gives you time to look at it. And no one ever talks about it. Ever. It's there. In our first house in Kirkdale, we had a settee like that. The exact same pattern.
Chief, I walked over as soon as I heard.
Mrs. Kilt-Man always says to me, remember our tartan settee we had in Kirkdale? You'd love that now, wouldn't you? No, I hated that fucking settee. It was the most uncomfortable thing I've ever sat on. And that's saying something, because the very settee I'm sitting on right now is incredibly uncomfortable. The cushion goes back too far, and if you're a short arse, your knees kind of come up over the edge of the cushions, so your feet don't touch the floor. You can't get comfortable on it. There's no neck rest when you try and lie back. It's awful. This is a great scene though, because look at poor Hendrix. He doesn't want to be chief of police. He's embarrassed for his former boss and his mate. And he's come round out of deep sympathy. Like every hero in the world, every true blue-collar hero, drink is our best weapon. It's what we fall back on. It's what fortifies us. It's always there when it all goes tits up. Can you guys see the shark in Roy Scheider? I know I keep going on about it, but I've had this argument in the house with other members of the Kilty clan. And like, it's a shark! And they go, what are you on about? You can't help that face. It's like, nobody looks like a shark. It's a lovely scene, this, you know. There is genuine sort of heart, memories, compassion, whimsical nostalgia and regret. But he knows he's right. She's an unusual looking woman, but she is absolutely gorgeous at the same time. I think the hair got messed up going down to Florida, but she's still, Lorraine Gary was a lovely, striking woman. They use that phrase, don't they? Very handsome woman. Always thought that was very insulting, really, but I think it works in her case. Nah. Too damn drunk. Too damn drunk. Yeah. That's often what the last words I hear when I stagger back to Kilt Mansion and have a kind of a twinkle in my eye, and then, hey, too damn drunk. Too damn drunk. You know, something interesting here, like this guy, what's his name? Mark Grunner, is it? Grunner? Tim Grunner? Oh, let's get his name. Or maybe let's not get his name because I can't find it. Mark Grunner. I was right first time around. He's the older Brody son. Now he does look, or Dennis Quaid plays him in Jaws 3. Now look, Dennis Quaid in Jaws 3 does look like this guy. I'm not in any way, shape or form trying to validate Jaws 3 because it is a shocking piece of shit. Genuinely awful. And yet you have PJ Moriarty is in there, and Simon McCorkindale are in there as well. Oh God! And Dennis Quaid's a great actor. I love Dennis Quaid, but what the hell? You got Louis Gossett Jr. as well, an Oscar winner. Am I right? An Oscar winner. And it's just such shite. What are them buildings in the background there? Can you see that? Oh, here she is. It's Marge. Oh God, no. I'm already in remorse and shock. Oh God, I can't do this. Look at Timmy in the background. You fuck off, fatso. Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, cheers. I was looking forward to this. Outstanding. Okay, she's got good legs. Yeah, let's give her that. Does he not look like Ray Romano? Obviously she's not. He's got a New York sort of accent, hasn't he? Catamarans. You know what? Been on one of them. I fucking don't like them as well. I really do not like catamarans. I mean, look at that. And inflatables. And little sailboats. They're massively vulnerable. I want an aircraft carrier. Our lighthouse down New Brighton looks just like that. And the outcrop of land as well is very similar. Here's the dive school. And of course, Andy Nicholas is meant to be. What kind of fucking, hey, you're supposed to be in class. I want lobster. I want margarine and butter. And he lets him off. You're meant to be in class, you bastard. Just lets him off. Great sequence. That's wonderful, by the way. having done that, that is a genuine, real. People jumped out of planes as well. The balls rush there is phenomenal. But you get a balls rush going over the side of a boat, or even just jumping into the sea and going under the sea. You get that. There's a definite, you change your environment. Everything is now against you, but you're defying it, and that's, you feel it. But you kind of know the clock's ticking. You don't belong. This is a fabulous sequence, this one really blew me away as a kid. Hello, get out of my face. That was almost like a Jaws 3D moment there. Now, in a sort of dive school of that amount of people, which is quite a lot, no shark would go anywhere near them. They just wouldn't. They might be interested and sort of circle around, but they'd soon get out of town. But as we find, if anyone strays off the beaten track, you're leaving yourself wide open. Come here, you! What's he after there? Big up a lobster. Oh, John Williams' score. And the vines. And that looks beautiful there. It's captivating. But what this guy will do, he'll go into the most terrifying... Look, I would not go near that. You've got to be kidding me. The most threatening environment and surroundings ever. Wow, Jesus Christ. Oh, the scarred visage. And you bit right through it as well. Oh, fuck this. I like there is blood in the water there. There's blood bubbles coming out there. That is a great shock moment. I mean, every time I watch it, I'm always like, oh my God. Get him back. Jesus Christ, get him back. Almost. But look, we can see the fin. Look, there it is. See, there was 3 sharks built for this of varying degrees. One was literally just like that, the head and the dorsal fin, to show just the fin coming up and a presence further ahead of the dorsal fin. Sparklies again, look at that. Jeanette Swark really liked try and capture the sparklies. That's the sun shining on the sea, of course. Look at that. The catamaran actually goes in time with John Williams' music there. Bam, 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 bam. This is a film of sequences. It's almost like a symphony. It is set in sequences. And now we're entering the final phase of it. The sea. See how he managed to miss the light there. The lamp shade. Look at it. It's perilously low. Would you hang a lampshade that low? Here we go. Sort of mimicking again the thing with Sean in the first movie. Only with his own face. He's looking at a shark right there. We've got that spice rack. And the spices that are in it are, Jesus, they're way years out of date. We've got numerous spice racks and numerous spices everywhere, but I love that spice rack because they become a bit of a fixture, a bit of furniture. Don't use them. Spices go out of date, folks. Don't ever do that. Turning the truck. Oh God, not that truck. Always said, you know, the Gran Torino from Starsky Hutch, the Mad Max Interceptor, any version you want, from the MFP Mad Max 1979 to the actual Interceptor for Mad Max 2. Oh, my dream cars. And his Jimmy High Sierra, and I can't even drive. So what the fuck am I talking about? That always seems like a bit of a throwaway bit of line, but it's actually pretty good. The housekeeper comes in. Frankie, he's my brother. He should have known that. But look at that. You did not drink on the way back, didn't you? Or did you sit in the High Sierra afterwards, after getting shit canned and then got shit faced? Who knows? But it's nice that that little throwaway stuff there. Frankie, he's my brother. You know, he might need an apprentice because obviously he's out of work now. Eddie, oh God, man, no. Again, another amazing sequence. This, which again was cut down slightly. Look at it, the cheeks, the rosy glow and the light shining on those big cheeks. The cheeks are good. My daughter tells me that people are either rats or, hang on, rats or something. Lucy? Lucy? What are we, rats or what? What, pigs? Oh, rats or frogs, depending on the shape of your face and the size of your eyes. Oh, it's horrible, isn't it? You gotta remember, the shark in the first movie had tactics and was a malevolent monster. It elevated the shark from beyond the normal. It stalked the three men in the boat. This shark, a lot of stuff. Again, it's another fault of the movie. It's kind of random, really, what it does. But the thing is, it's gone after. This lot are all out at sea, so it's like this is a smorgasbord. Look, she's great. Tina Wilcox, who was like, you know, the prom queen and all that. Look at her face. It's real. There's no way you can make it. There's no way. It's gone under. It's gone under the boat. It's gone under the boat. Oh God, no. You got no chance, mate. No chance. And I think again, it's cut down because he gets bitten in half below the waist. This is horrible. Again, reflecting back to Teddy Grossman being dragged in the first movie. Again, a sequence cut out of Jaws 1. Oh no. Oh God. I mean, by today's standards, it's not nasty. It's not overtly, graphically gory or nasty, but it fucking hurts at the same time. Come on now. No one can say that girl's not acting there. Anne Dusenberry's brilliant, brilliant. It's not your job anymore. Like, well... Would you trade that Jeep in? Get the fuck out of the way. Go on, fuck off. Go on, yoke. Oh, God. Another boat person. They've all got boats on this fucking island. All this rain, and they put that there. That was done. Look, you can see quite clearly it's dead sunny. But they added all the water to it. Again, these are like sort of offcuts and various imagery from John Hancock's initial footage filmed in Martha's Vineyard.
What happened? Embolism. Air bubbles in the blood. Get up too fast. You held his damn breath. Something must have scared him down.
Hang on, there's a whole bunch of... isn't it all the ambulance queue like Sonny Bono? See, in Brody's mind, and rightly so, all these things lead to one thing alone. It's a great white shark out there. What kids?
Oh, Junior Vaughn, Brookie Peters, Jackie, Mike, Gavin. Yeah, they said they were headed to the lake.
Yeah, oh, that's... Hendrix, did you not think to say maybe first, oh, by the way, your son's out there as well? Nice bit of like a handheld camera work there as well. Notice that? We're fucking going, alright? I love this. I love the amplification of Hendrix's character. And that he will play, he does play a part in it. That little parka that Brody's wearing is fantastic. Got a lot of clothing from the movies, all original stuff, but I wouldn't mind that. Fucking hell, that zipped past, didn't it? Look at like Roy Scheider in his little skimpy tight cut off khakis with the threads hanging. Like you've cut your chinos down, haven't you, mate? Affirmative. Turn the kids day sailing back to port. And we're gonna get Captain Jerry Baxter, who will be the Coast Guard helicopter pilot. Oh God, what a great sequence again. See those boys? I don't mean the boys as in the lads, the blokes, the jocks, the boys floating at sea. When you go past those things, there's a very seriously eerie feeling about them. They're rusted, they're barnacled, and you feel like you're passing perimeters and borders, and you're entering into a new territory. For whatever direction you hit them from, and I've swum around these things. I've had to put limpets on, fake limpet mines on these things and do all the stuff in training, and then it's a colossally eerie feeling around these things. They're all having fun, and then another great transition. I'm trying to look for the chunk torn out of the side of the boat, and I'm not seeing it there in that shot where Eddie's gone like and dragged out. Where is it? It ain't there, is it? It was. He tore a chunk out of that boat. Vaughan, I pulled a tooth the size of a shot glass out of the wrecked hull of a boat out there. I mean, this is this film's variation on that, and it does do it differently, but it evokes the same sort of idea. Oh, there it is. There's the big chunk taken out. See that there? Great. That's gorgeous, that shot, isn't it? Now, come on. She's amazing. What she does here, this is truly astonishing. Look how white she is. And she worked hard for this. Look at it. You dickheads that say that she's overacting and like, oh, she can't act at all. That's absolute bullshit. Look at her. Oh, God. Oh, man, it gets me that. Lucky that that's there, but she got the sky changed from shot to shot there. Okay, this bit. Where are they? Point to point, like 90 degrees angles. Don't give that shit. Point. You can't point to somewhere on the horizon and then take a boat off in that direction. Everything completely changes. That's one of the, it's like, oh, that's Brody for you, Brody. Don't give me that shit, just point. But it wouldn't work. He'd never get there. He'd never find them. At least these kids knew who Captain Bligh was. Oh, fuck off. I'm having you. I'll be honest, that is not the most shocking of scenes. That could have been far more dynamic, that. Though it is built up there and like. But the maelstrom this shark now causes, it's pretty devastating. Intercut with. Oh. Do you know what I think is? I like that. Oh, there's some great chaos taking place here. Mike getting rear headbutted there and like knocking himself out. A guy that you think's going to be like maybe possibly a hero. Oh, Marge and Sean have gone in. Oh no, God, no. It ain't yet, folks. Fuck off. Look at that. Oh, wait, everyone gets pitched into the water at some point. Get me out of here. Oh, but look where you're going. I have not got a problem with this. The way that everyone fucks up and crashes into each other. But there is a vessel there which is still usable and they will get out. But everyone else, little fucking sailboats, catamarans, a great white shark, you've got no chance, folks. No chance. Look at that. Now that's the roof of the shark. The top, the ceiling of the shark and the dorsal fin on a ramp going through. But what you're going to get here right now, there's the other version. This uses all three versions of the shark that he made. The Brucettes. Now watch this. Oh, and like they drop. Oh, fucking hell! It veers in. I'm coming for you. Fucking look at that! Jesus Christ! Oh my god! Who gives a shit? It's a mechanical shark. That thing got slammed at you at high speed and they pulled him out of the water just in time. Whether the jaws closed or not, that thing was going to fucking destroy you if it hit you. So you got land in a distance there. Yeah, please. Could you send like a Coast Guard helicopter pilot out maybe? Oh no, there she is. I've got it, folks. I'm dreading what's coming. Absolutely dreading it. These guys are good. I mean, it's the best idea you can do. String it all together. So they're not stupid. They are acting correctly. The romance between Aaron and Mike never took off. But they're trying to imply it here. It's a bit of a clumsy sort of extra shot. She's the one that lured him out there in the first place. And then, of course, without him going out there, you wouldn't have got Sean going out there. But, you know, it is what it is. Brody, where the fuck are you going, man? Did you not see where Hendrix pointed? That's my point exactly, folks. This does not happen. You can't point on the ocean, on the sea. Anyway, that way. You can't follow that course. It won't happen. Coordinates. But Brody's a magnificently more stronger guy now. So more radio trouble. But at least you haven't got Quint smashing him with a baseball bat like. Again, look at the two angles there. How the weather was different. The lighting's massively different. Filming at sea has got to be such a horrendous experience. How to try and map these days? Of course, you can map it up. CG will work wonders. But back in those days, you are a slave to the lighting and the cloud cover, and the current change, and and weather coming in. Cable Junction. This looms large in my imagination. Cable Junction. It's such a gothic structure. Again, we go back to John Hancock and his original version. How he would have done this. Oh, here's Captain Baxter. Jerry Baxter, Vietnam veteran, helicopter pilot, ran his own crop dusting company. He used this guy here used his own helicopter. He's flying his own helicopter here. And yes, before you start shouting out, "Ooh, when he crashes it, the shark eats it," he built a mock-up of his own helicopter to be crashed and sunk by the shark. What a guy. And for many, many years, I believe that he was is it William Hootkins, who played Red, looking whatever, in the X-Wing Fighter, Porkins, that beard. I thought that he was the same guy. ain't the same guy, folks. But Porkins died in an aircraft, and this guy dies in an aircraft as well. Then pontoons. I know a guy that actually crashed one of these, and sadly died in a rescue attempt as well. Wasn't a shark, but the pontoon split, and in the weather he was dragged under, and he just sadly drowned. Clever. He couldn't go near it because of the roses, and he catches it first time, and you got sparklies there on the windshield. I love the way that, you know, he's a hero. We got it. We got this.
Now hold on to something.
You genuinely believe this guy's a hero, even with that incredibly ridiculous beard. Oh, God. Cable Junction. I'm going to tell you to Cable Junction. How tiny is that? This is why, you know, when I knew about the demise of the pilot. No! I weren't surprised. These things just can't last. Thing is, why is it going for it? It's like, oh, and the rotors are going to hit the water and they're going to splinter off. It's fucking terrifying, isn't it? You'd be sided in half. Now, again, we know there's another infamous deleted scene here, because he is underwater and the shark gets in, drags him out and devours him. There was a version where he got out and apparently saves Marge. If only it exists in storyboard form, but it never happened. But the full sequence of him getting dragged out would have made this film a much harder, nastier movie, without a doubt. And I kind of wish they'd done it. I wish they'd gone with it. That water's horrible, isn't it? Billy Van Zandt. Sean. Oh no, it's coming up. It's coming up. Marge, don't do it. Marge, just let him be chomped. Don't worry about it. Billy Van Zandt was meant to die here as well. They cut that scene. No! Oh God, no. Sean, look. No, listen. Look at this! Oh!
Take her to the hospital, meet me back at the office, and we'll go.
Even John Williams knew. And he did it, he took the piss. Boom, boom, boom. They filmed it where she's in the shark's mouth. They filmed it where she's chomped. And it was too nasty. So they do it from behind. But you do see the shark's gills, cheeks, if you want to call them that, bulge out as it takes her down. And I go, nice. Oh, God. Billy Van Zandt, he was there. He's the guy, the Ray Romano lookalike. The shark takes him as well, initially. Not in this version, original version. And he's like, and kind of like Alex Kintner in the full uncut version of Alex Kintner's death, where you see the shark come out the water and take him down, which Spielberg was like, you can't show that. We're giving away too much for one thing, and it's just too damn nasty, which it is. But God, we want to see it, don't we? Well, it's the same thing for Billy Van Zandt as is it Tommy? Is he Tommy? I always forget the name now. Bob is his name. And he's lying there, prone on an upturned bit, and the shark just comes up and fucking takes him down and breaks him in half. Oh dear Lord. Great stuff here. Mark Gilpin's fantastic here. And these are great as well. Look, what do people expect? And there's Billy Van Zandt in the background there, who should have been dead by this moment. The kid's in shock. He's just seen someone get destroyed. Oh, look. The way it turns here. Just imagine the frustration. It's shown that there's even like, no matter how young and foolhardy you think you are, don't give a toss about the rest of the world, that you will help someone else. Sadly, you guys and I both know that the world is a different place than that. I like to believe that these guys would have done this exact deed and brought him back. Look at that! You know, he's got to navigate all this, and then watch. Jesus, you'd springboard out of there, wouldn't you? You'd fire like a Jetson motor up your arse, and like I'd be in the stars. Nowhere near the fucking water, that's for certain. Alright.
Cable Junction's ahead. I don't know. Hey, I was just asking.
So like he was like a real pretentious, egotistical twat. But it's actually alright. Although he will have a moment soon. You know, Mayor Vaughan's son. Shut up. Well, there's the moment there. That's not bad acted. Christ. You've seen the Friday the 13th movies. You've seen the more modern Scream movies. You want to see bad acting? Look at that shite. There's Lucy. And she got on so well with little Sean, Mark Gilpin. They formed a huge bond. That's a barge, a long floating barge, which they use as a man-made island sort of thing, which is meant to be the cable relay electricity power supply to Amity. And what a gothic structure it actually is. I kind of wish that in the full movie, look, he's going right back to the coast again. He's going all over the fucking show. There's no way that Brody's ever going to find anybody on that. He would just drift out to sea, run out of petrol, drift out to sea and die. A salty, barnacled mess. Oh dear.
Okay. Sure?
That's a lovely shot. It's over the cloud. Look at the clouds.
You wanted to come. It's okay, wasn't it? Where are they?
From now on, you're eating Cheerios!
You three get to the lighthouse and stay there. You hear me? Stay there. I'm sorry, Dad. I didn't know. It's all right. Forget it now. Just get to the lighthouse.
Oh God. It's alright now. Forget it. Oh, there'll be a huge bollocking later on though, won't there? Look at this. That's great. That is a genuine floating barge, which they built with polystyrene and fiberglass and that, like polystyrene. Fucking, that's going to be dissolved in the water. But, fiberglass and all sorts of stuff. And again, you can imagine John Hancock's version would have been really eerie, mystery laden, like some kind of ghost island. You know, I'm so glad we don't see him die. I'd love a bigger body count in this. I'd love a bit more gore. I'd love it, but I don't want to see these kids die. I don't. And surely that is that the point of making a great horror movie, where you don't want to see someone die, and when they do, you really feel it. You're stuck. You're snagged.
I don't know. I think we're stuck. I think it's just the bottom.
No, it's that thing. Now, annoying as it is to see this sort of stuff, this is what happens. People go right off the fucking handle. They go hysterics, and then someone will really respond badly, and everyone turns on each other. So I think it's a realistic depiction of how people in this situation would react. They're only young. I've been in a situation with guys much older than this, with a real bad scenario coming down upon us, and shots being fired in, and we're not too sure where we're going to get out or where we go forward. And you've got to like restrain all that. And yet these aren't trained. We were trained, but that instinct of panic is still in you. You have to use your training to stop that coming to the fore. These guys aren't trained. That's how people react, and they react badly to scenarios. Oh look, I see. It's Brody. It's Chief Brody. Come to the rescue. He eats great white sharks for breakfast. For God's sake. Look at the sparklies. There's tons of sparklies there.
Pull yourselves over. We're gonna get the hell out of here.
And the way there, Brody's gone from like his little wind cheater to a combat jacket, a la Quint from Jaws. Hello, remember me? Fuck off. What? Oh, the shot looks awful there, I'll be honest. They never could work out how to, when the shark's head turns, it formed gaps and cheeks and bulges. Isn't that great as well? Like, oh shit, I've arrived at a rescue with an operative, sea vehicle, and now I've fucked it up. But I'm still here, my skimpy shorts.
All right, take this, and I'll try and get you over.
What a threatening scenario, though. Look, we've got an island here, a craggy, inhospitable shithole of an island. They had to anchor that down because it kept drifting off. It was going to Cuba, apparently, the Cable Junction was drifting off to Cuba during a storm. I think it broke loose.
I'll pull you back with the winch, you got it? Okay!
So you got the winch going again here. The last time we saw it, it was entangled with the cables, and it's going to be entangled with the cables again. I love the sound effects here. Nice boom. And of course, the foreshadowing of the cables, the winch, and sound attracting a shark, all going to come to fruition here. I don't have a problem with that at all. Oh shit! What? I'm not fussed on the slowed down footage there. Hello, I'm still here, you know. Like the water, the flow would throw people off. They'd be in the water. I can definitely see that. It's always clumsy, the interchange between the mechanical sharks and the genuine shark footage. It's always a little bit sort of like, you know exactly what it is. Oh, here's Lucy. Oh God, no. And it rubs against the hair. And you're like, oh God, no, don't take care. But he goes for it. Tons of cases where people have been attacked by sharks and their partner or someone has gone to rescue them, and the shark may have come back to make repeated attacks on that particular victim, but never attacked the rescuer. But the bravery of the rescuers. So it's so harsh and brittle. The skin, the hide of a shark, it'll tear you to shreds. So she's got a few scars there. That's a great image, actually. You know, the high voltage cable with all the seaweed hanging off it. Look at the size of that fin. Dad, what are you gonna do? That's your son out there. You'll do whatever you can. And again, John Williams' music, subtle at the moment, if it'll ramp up. Again, yeah, it's not the ending of Jaws. Smile, you son of a... But it's still bloody exciting. Oh, I'm having you. I think you just resign yourself to the fact I'm going to be eaten here. You kick fuck out of its face though. Got the paddle. It's a great sound, this. Love this. I'm not convinced it would actually distract the shark, but we've gone with this. Sound affects it, so this is how we're gonna go with it. Look at her, look. She's terrified. She's cold, she's wet, she's terrified. I'd love to see like a diorama of Cable Junction. I kind of wish they got onto it and they were terrorised a bit longer on that. But it's a great feature. It does look very polystyrene now, doesn't it? It does, let's be honest. Like, what's your dad doing? Fuck's sake. Chief! See, the thing is that the shark doesn't go away. Like, sharks do go away. They're like, well, I'm not asked about this. That's enough. But no, I must react to this reverberation, this sonoric echoing underwater. Brody's thinking like, oh, not again. You big bastard. God, this could so not go the way you want it to. There's a moment here where, like, an image where Brody looks like, fucking, what am I doing? Watch. Shark looks amazing here though. And there's a real underwater moment of deep-seated horror. Its face. Look, he's like, oh shit. Look at that! That's coming at you! Oh. Okay, I might give you a bit of overacting on that, but then again, you're getting showered in sparks, sharky sparks. The smoke billowing out of the eye hole always looks fake, but then again, it's on fire. A great white shark, in reality, chewing on a big power cable and ablaze. Its eyeballs are going to melt, and all the air, the holes and tubes are going to funnel out flames or smoke. So it looks, you go, oh, look at this smoke, it looks dead fake, it's like a model. Well, it's out of water, it's going to do that. So, you know, all detractors from this movie, you're wrong. You're lucky you survived, mate. Because the chomping you were gonna, you get bitten in half. Oh my god. You, sparrow tits. And you. The last we see of Chief Brody. Folks, Jaws 2 is immensely good fun. It prefigures the likes of Friday the 13th and the entire Stalk and Slash American version of Stalk and Slash. Stalk and Slash existed way before in Italian cinema, but the idea of a group of teenagers in peril was forged here. Like it or loathe it, that's what happened. You bring back a great white shark, a huge bastard, which does immense damage and is a huge predator. You return to Amity. Oh no, I know we filmed most of it in Florida, but you've gone back to Amity and a lot of the familiar faces. So it all comes back. Ted Grossman, who's the estuary victim in the original movie, gets his leg drifts down. He was the stunt coordinator for this movie and did a hell of a lot of work on it as well. You've got the whole family of Martha's Vineyard and all the production, a lot of production crew, a lot of the ideas, a lot of the cast are returning. You've gone back to this environment and it doesn't do it in a bad way. It does it. Expands the universe just enough. It doesn't go too far. Jaws 3 goes too far and becomes a complete dizzy, stupid tripe fest. Jaws the Revenge is utterly ridiculous and should forever be reviled. But Jaws and Jaws 2 do sandwich together very, very well. They do have all the connective tissue and you can believe it. Oh my god, another shark. Are you fucking kidding me? I've said so many times now throughout this commentary that I wanted to see John Hancock's version. I still would love, we're never going to see it, it doesn't exist. I'd love to have seen what his version was going to be. The haunted quality would have been such a different movie. The same general principles of this, but it would have been a much darker, more malevolent, downcast sort of quality to it, which I know PG, it says there, PG. That's the American rating as well. John Williams' score is an absolute awe-inspiring piece of maritime, majestic marvel. I love it. The underwater sequences are great. The harp use that John Williams brings in, which comes into the underwater sequences, primarily the opening scuba divers encountering the orca, and then the dive taking place, and the erroneous fool that goes off after the lobster. I'm going to go over this, and I'm going to encounter. If you saw that, like that forest, that underwater forest vinery, you'd be like, all the murky, smoky weirdness. You'd be like, fuck that. I'm going that way. And it goes, oh, but it's right there. The dive is right there. Again, Mike Brody, the stuntman playing Mike Brody, who's falling off the side of the boat. They're trying to bring him back in, and the shark comes down the side. Whoa, whoa, Jesus. It's not a real shark. What does it matter? It looks like a real shark. It's bigger than most real sharks. And its jaws fucking work. Even if the jaws didn't work and he slammed into you, you're going to be very, very badly hurt, and you're in water. It's not a good day out, folks. So, however unconvinced you might be by these mechanical sharks, they still work for what they're meant to do. And if you're the actor and that's coming at you, get out of town. Oh, it looks so shit, so fake. Oh yeah, put yourself in the water and let that come at you. I love Jaws too. I love it. I think the teens aren't that bad at all. I think they act appropriately. They're in panic. Anyone in panic acts stupidly. Brody is, Scheider plays Brody perfectly. It's a nice evolution of the character. Ellen Brody gets given another little aside, comes in there with Len Peterson, that slimy twat, who you would have smacked in the face. There is a certain person that put the moves on Mrs. Kilt-Man a while ago when she was working for a different company, and we went to a big works do, and he was really, she told me about him, man, how slimy he was, but I just do my job. And we're at this do, you all fucking want to know this one now, don't you? And we're at this do in the bowler hat, or in our accent around here, we call it bowler rat, which sounds like it's a bowl of rat, but it's the bowler hat. And it's a Christmas do, works do, and this guy was all over it, and he went off for a piss. He went off. There were double doors out of the main banquet room. It's a big place, main banquet room, hall, and he went out, and it was like the main entrance was on the other side, so double doors there, double doors here, and in between were all the toilets. And I caught him on the way back. The twist of the collar, which he was like that right away, and then I put the elbow right into his throat, and I forced his jaw up as well. He couldn't speak, his eyes were bugging out, and I told him in no uncertain terms to get the fuck away from my wife. You see me, and you think you're going to take her away from me. You think you're someone that you're not. I'm going to kill you. great. It was a great moment. There's been other moments like that as well, to be honest. There's been moments when the wife had to do the same thing for me. And she has. And I'll be honest, she was actually far worse than I was. Mrs. Kilt-Man's only small, not that small, Christ, but small and diminutive. And but my God, when the anger has been brought out, and yeah, there has been other girls that have fallen for her wrath. But then again, as Jaws 2 is meant to be, it's a female shark. It's bigger, it's more deadlier than the male, and it's pregnant. That's the idea as well. It's actually carrying babies. So, but that doesn't make it into that movie, I know. Folks, that was Jaws 2. Dino, Paul Ike, Captain Ronnie, Scrubby, and others have asked for this, and well, you got it there. I hope you enjoyed that. I didn't want to go too in depth on the background stuff, but I probably still did. But I hope you all enjoyed the watch along, because it's a great movie. It's one of the best sequels that there is. It's not perfect. There's faults to it. As any sequel is going to have faults. A film is made to be its own thing, I believe. And if it's successful, people they try to shoehorn in, bring this back, and we're going to do this, and we're going to have another adventure. But it wouldn't happen. In reality, it doesn't happen again. Lightning doesn't strike twice unless you're in fucking Die Hard, you know. Well, the same bunch of terrorists, the same fucking air shaft, whatever he says, can't remember. But it's Aliens is one of the great sequels, but it does an entirely different thing. So sequels can be made and they can work brilliantly so, but the vast majority become franchises, and then part 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, and they're shit. They are shit. Let's be honest. And I'm the guy that's plugging the new Predator movies, but a Predator movie can be different. Just do something different. I'm never going to say no to sequels, but sequels by and large don't tend to work, and they are lesser than the original. Well, they pretty much almost always are less than the original, but we live in hopes, don't we? Anyway, that was Jaws 2. And it took a while to get this one done because of various stuff getting in the way. But hope you enjoyed it. And please keep it kilted, keep it Celtic. And I'm going to see you in the meantime and the ever day sailing, shark evading in between time. So please keep it Celtic, keep it Celtic. And I'm going to see you all later. For Christ's sake, Governor, remember Australia.